It's a great time to be alive. Welcome back to the channel, Starbeans. Here, we honor our soul while serving our life's purpose. My name's Anthony, and today we're going to talk more about some shadow work because there's some real life stuff happening to somebody I know, and it's a perfect opportunity to kind of explain another level of shadow work. So I've already done one video on shadow work. If you haven't seen it, head over to my playlist. It's under shadow work, so just definitely go check that out. And you might want to watch that one first, but you don't have to. But this is just, we're going to go a little bit deeper on a specific topic. And shadow work's different depending on what experiences are in the shadows, okay? So just as a refresher, shadow work means that all of us in this human lifetime on this planet right now, all of us are going through ups and downs, right? We have great days, we have bad days, we go through different jobs, sometimes we move, we have all types of different experiences. Relationships are a killer, right? Sometimes we suffer in relationships, sometimes we're happy in relationships. Whatever we're going through our lives, there's going to be great times and there's going to be some not so great times, right? Where lessons probably were learned or lessons need to be learned in this lifetime. Shadow work goes into the dark parts where a lot of people don't feel comfortable going. And so that is the issue that I'm having right now, because I have a friend of mine who is going through a very difficult time right now because she was in a very bad relationship and she was dating a guy, and several, long story short, because it's a private story, but I'll just say long story short, she was abused and taken advantage of. And so I'll just leave it at that. There's a lot more to it though, but that's, and she had to escape. It was, for her, it was like an escape because the situation was so bad. And she was being manipulated and taken advantage of. So this happened years ago, right? And she's still dealing with it. She's still dealing with it today. It's still affecting her today. And so if you've been through something, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be anything, any negative experience. If you haven't put closure to that, you're holding on to that negative baggage, okay? So imagine your body as a vessel, a human vessel, right? We have our soul inside of our body that's powering up. It's like our soul's the battery for this human vessel that we're in, right? So imagine that you're carrying luggage, right? And some of the bags you're carrying are very light. They're very loving, they're very light, they have great energy. But you have a couple bags that you're carrying with you, whether you move to another city, whether you enter another relationship, it doesn't matter, you're still carrying this baggage of negativity from an event that happened into your life. Sometimes it's not one bag, sometimes it's 3 or 4 bags. I'm a big fan, and I'm just going to put this out there, it's not really spiritual, but I'm a big fan of the artist NF, right? And NF, in a lot of his music videos, he carries black balloons around in his videos. And what these black balloons represent for him, or these are his burdens, right? These are his burdens that weigh him down all the time. And so he carries them around. And so it's a symbolism of, depression, stress, whatever you're going through. If you don't release it, if you don't release that energy and you can't move on from it, you're going to hold on to it. And you'll hold on to it until you do the shadow work, right? So the shadow work means you have to come face to face with what's bothering you, what you've been holding on to, and you got to figure out how to release that. And so I'm going to talk specifically on and you can use this, I'm going to talk specifically on how to release that type of negative energy and be able to live a better life, because now you just feel like you're not weighed down anymore. Because when we carry these bags, right, it weighs, it's very heavy. The ones that we're carrying, the luggage we're carrying around our life, wherever we move, whatever job we go to, when we're carrying the light baggage, love is light baggage, doesn't weigh anything, right? It's easy to carry around that because it's just so light and airy and beautiful. It's the heavy, heavy, dense negative energy, second dimensional, first dimensional negative energy that we need to release. And when we carry that, it will affect relationships, it'll affect our work habits, so forth and so on. It affects our entire life if we don't get rid of it. So this is how you do it. If you have a very tough situation, like if you're coming out of an extremely abusive relationship, if you're going through something really deep, like really deep, this is the best way. This is a version of shadow work that works best. It works like magic, okay? And so what you do is, first and foremost, you get a few sheets of paper. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, depends on how much you're gonna write. But grab some paper. Don't grab a notebook. You can if it's one of those that you can tear out paper. But what you wanna do is you first wanna write down so number 1, write down what happened. What happened? What experience did you go through that left you where you are right now? So if it's an abusive relationship, what happened? Okay, well, it started off like this, and you want to write the story. You don't want to write a book, but you want to write a story that talks about the negative parts of what happened, right? What you're still holding on to, you need to write about it. And so, for example, and I'm not going to use my friend as an example, I'll use another example. Let's say you're holding on to somebody that you love, a breakup, sometimes in relationships people separate. Sometimes obviously one person wants to separate, sometimes both, sometimes the other person still loves that person and didn't want to separate. That does happen, right? So what you want to do is you want to write down what happened, okay? And all the stuff that happened that you're holding on to this negative energy, what happened in that relationship. And we're going to use relationship just as an example. And you want to write all that stuff down. Then continue writing. After that, then you want to make bullet points on the different emotions you specifically feel for that event. For example, I went through a horrible relationship, so that left me depressed. Okay, so bullet point, depression. Next bullet point, it left me angry. I'm so mad. Okay, bullet point, anger. It left me confused. Okay, bullet point, confused. It left me, and you're thinking of all the things, all the negative feelings that you have, and you want to break each one down. So you're putting bullet points. Okay, so the 4th bullet point, there's not a specific number. You put as many as feelings as you can put into it, right? I have trouble trusting now. I don't trust, whether it's a man or a woman, we're talking relationships and you had a breakup, maybe you don't trust men anymore, maybe you don't trust women. So trust, I'm having trouble trusting. I'm having trouble believing in love. I don't believe in love anymore because I got hurt so bad. And you want to write each one of these as a bullet point. Then on the same paper you're continuing, now you need to break down each bullet point and you need to write it down. And when you're writing down what happened to you, right, the negative thing that happened to you, now you're writing down the bullet points. Now you're going to break down each bullet point on paper, because as you're writing all this stuff down, you are actually releasing this negative energy. You're releasing it onto paper, okay? You're releasing it onto paper. When you write this stuff down and do the technique I'm teaching you, it's not, I'm not going to say going to see counseling or therapist doesn't work. I'm sure that stuff does work, but I would recommend doing this first because this is shadow work. So now you have to break down each bullet point. So now you say, okay, I'm depressed. Well, let's break down depression. Why am I depressed about what happened? Well, because this and this and this happened, and this is causing me depression because I still feel like whatever. You write it down. Okay, I'm angry. Well, what specifically makes you angry? Now you want to touch on the bullet points. So you want to put the bullet points, and then you want to expand on those bullet points, and you want to write them all down. Once you have this, is a 3-step process. You write down the experience that happened. You write down in bullet points every negative feeling that you have. Don't put the positive stuff. We're getting rid of this negative energy. All the negative things that happen, you want to write those down in bullet points. And then 3, you want to take each bullet point and you want to add to it. You want to dive deeper into that bullet point, right? So you want to go, okay, well, I'm angry, but why am I angry? What, at the core level, why am I so upset about this? And you want to write that down. You want to let all your feelings out. It's like talking to a therapist, right? But you're putting it on paper. And when it's a negative situation that you want to get rid of, what you want to do is write this down, follow these 3 steps. At the end, you have 4 or 5 pages, whatever you have. If it's in a notebook, tear it out. You have these pages. What you want to do is you want to, hold the pages in your hand, or you can put them on a table. You want to close your eyes. You want to take a couple deep breaths and just relax, like all the tension, and you're going to feel so much better. You might even cry while you're writing this stuff out. If it was a bad experience, you might even cry while you're doing it. But that crying is releasing that negative energy. It's your body's way of releasing. We don't always cry though, but if you do, don't worry, it's nothing weird or crazy. It's just your body releasing this energy from you, right? And so it's a great form of release. So now that you've left all this stuff out, you want to take a couple deep breaths, breathe in through your nose, hold it for 3 or 4 seconds. And each time you breathe, right, 3 times, you can do 3 or 4 times. Each time you breathe, you want to tell yourself, okay, this breath in, and then you're telling yourself in your brain, you know, when I release it out, I'm releasing all the negative energy of this experience. And you just release it out. And you do this 3 or 4 breaths. And then you say to yourself, I prefer, it's better if you say it out loud, but you can say it to yourself too if you're kind of, you know, you don't want anyone to hear you. But you want to give yourself a positive speech now. I went through this horrible relationship that I am now releasing. I am now letting go of this, and I'm not going to let this affect me anymore. I've become a stronger person because of it. I was a victim. Whatever positivity you want to put in there, but you want to end with something positive, okay? So you take your couple deep breaths, and then you want to end with a positive note, like, you know, I'm not allowing this energy to never affect me again. I'm releasing it to the world, to the universe, and I'm never going to deal with this again. And then what you need to do, very important, in a safe place, you need to burn all the pages that you just wrote. You need to burn all of them. I mean, burn them to a crisp. You don't want to leave like half a page left. Just burn them, right? Don't start the house on fire. Be very careful, but go to a safe place and burn all the pages, all at the same time. I wouldn't crumple them up because it takes longer. Just burn the pages in a safe place. Once all those are burned, then you just release. Now everything you wrote down no longer exists. That energy, that negative energy that was inside your body, you put that through pen or pencil, you put that on paper. Now that paper is holding that negative energy. Once you burn it, it's released. It's no longer on you anymore. Right? You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's completely gone. And I promise you, doing this step, this is a great way to do shadow work. It's a great way, especially if it's a very bad encounter situation that very deep and dark, that you're dealing with. You know, and maybe it's not, there's other things baggage that we carry that's not so heavy, but on the real deep and heavy ones, this is a great way to release. Once you do this and you set that intention at the end of like, I'm gonna live a better life. I learned from this experience. I was a victim. You know, I'm a better person because of it today, and I'm no longer going to allow this person, I'm never going to send them my energy again. I'm never going to let them affect me again. They're out of my life. I'm good. And I promise you, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel like lighter heart. You're not going to feel the pressure and tension on your body anymore. You've released it. Once you release it, there's no point in even going back. There's no point in even thinking about it anymore. I mean, thoughts might come up every now and then, but don't focus on it. It's gone. It's out of your life. And so that's the best way to release something that's weighing you down heavily. And so that's a version of shadow work. And I hope this video helps. Let me know in the comments below if you're going through something like this, and if you've heard of this type of shadow work before. It works great. I've done it many times. And the more shadow work you do, the more negative things, the less baggage that you're carrying that's negative, eventually there's no negative baggage. And then now you're able to raise your vibration, and you're able to ascend to a higher vibration. And then all you can say is, all I can do now is have a positive and energetic day, right? Everything in the world is good. I release that negative energy. I no longer carry it with me. It's gone to the universe. And now I can start my life, my new life starting today, or a better version of my life starting today. So I hope you guys liked the video. And I will see you guys on the next one. I got more content coming, so definitely stay tuned. I have so many videos coming, and I'll be making these all the time. So I hope you guys are enjoying the content, and I'll see you on the next video. Have an energetic day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.